Good afternoon, everyone. This is Joyce Barre, your discussant for today, and today we were going to discuss global migration. Now, let us know what is global migration. Global migration is a situation in which people go to live in foreign countries, especially in order to find work. Most global migration is from developing countries to developed ones. Global migration, according to Bauman 1998, is the nuance of the movements of people around the world can be seen through the categories of migrants, which is the vagabonds and tourists. Human beings have always moved from one place to another. The freedom to move is so precious that it is protected human right. But not all movements are chosen freely. Some people, including whole families and communities, have been forced to move. Some have been forced to move because of human trafficking. There are estimated 272 million international migrants around the world, and while that equals just 3.5% of the world's population, it already surpasses some projections for 2050. Since 1970, the number of people living in a country or other than where they were born has tripled. While the overall figure has remained relatively stable as the proportion of the global population, the numbers from the World Migration Report of 2020, published by the International Organization for Migration or IOM, clearly demonstrates the impact that events of the past 2 years have had on the movement of people around the world. So now let us know what is vagabonds. Vagabonds are on the move because they have to. This is according to Ritzler 2015. They are not faring well in their home countries and are forced to move in the hope that their circumstances will improve. Refugees, on the other hand, are vagabonds that are forced to flee their home countries due to safety concerns. This is according to Haddad 2003. Asylum seekers are refugees who seek to remain in the country in which they flee. These are some illustrations of vagabonds. While the tourists are on the move because they want to be and because they can afford it. So these are some illustrations of tourists. And now we were going to talk about what are the factors affecting global migration. Among the macro factors, the political, demographic, socio-economic, and environmental situations are major contributors to migration. These are the main drivers of forced migration, either international or internal, and largely out of individuals' control. Another factor is, among the massive factors, communication technology, language grabbing, and diasporic links play an important role. In particular, social media attract people out of their origin countries by raising awareness of living conditions in the affluent world, albeit often grossly exaggerated, with the diaspora link also acting as an attractor. And the last factor affecting global migration is the micro factors such as education, religion, marital status, and personal attitude to migration also have a key role in making the final decision to migrate an individual choice. The stereotype of the illiterate, poor and rural migrant reaching the borders of affluent countries has to be abandoned. The poorest people simply do not have the means to escape war and poverty and remain trapped in their country or in the neighboring one. Once in the destination country, migrants have to undergo a difficult and often conflicted integration process in hosting community. From the health standpoint, newly arrived migrants are mostly healthy, but they may harbor latent infections that need appropriate screening policies. Cultural barriers may sometimes hamper the relation between the migrant patient and the healthcare provider. The acquisition of Western lifestyles is leading to an increase of non-communicable chronic disease that require attention. Today, there is hardly any locality untouched by globalization and migration. Although the term globalization may seem rather vague to some, for migrant workers, it acquires meaning in their everyday lives. Population movements have always accompanied demographic growth, technological change, political conflict, and warfare. Over the last 5 centuries, mass migrations have played a major role in colonialism, industrialism, the emergence of nation states, and the development of the capitalist world market. However, international migration has never been as pervasive or as socioeconomically and politically significant as it is today. Never before have statesmen accorded such priority to migration concerns. Never before has international migration seemed so pertinent to national security and so connected to conflict and disorder on a global scale. That's the end of my report, and I hope everyone learned. Thank you.